Hey, what's slicing, everybody? Chris back with CAC Knives here with another knife review. Today we have the Twosun model TS502 in full titanium M390 with a kind of toxic carbon fiber inlay themed, along with a purple and gold lightning anno combination finish on the titanium all over. Before we get into the review today, if you could help me out a lot by liking this video, subscribing, and commenting down below what you think of this knife, I would greatly appreciate it. But with that, let's get into the knife. This is an amazing knife, and there actually is some available. I will link them down in the description, either from eBay or from White Mountain, whichever one still has them available. What we're looking at here is a complete gold anodization of the titanium all around. They did mill out the inside, which is great. They purple anodized the pivot collars, which is also awesome. And they added this kind of toxic green carbon fiber. It's not camo or fat carbon. It's like, I don't know if you want to say it's a different company's carbon fiber. Not sure where they get this stuff from, but it does look pretty cool. So pretty much what you got is more of a neon green, purple, and gold theme to the knife, which is pretty cool looking in my opinion. It has a very unique back spacer. You see how it kind of just forms with the knife. Very big back spacer. I'd almost say this is more of a back stamp actually than a back spacer, but it fills in very uniquely there, as you can see, very uniquely on the top as well. Now I am trying to get the beauty of this knife showing in all lights and in all angles, including the natural light from outside, as well as the light in the room, so you guys can see the beauty of this knife. Now, since it's an M390, which is a super steel, you're probably expecting a higher price tag, and in a way, I guess you'd be right. This knife costs around $160, which, you know, for the materials, what this knife is offering actually isn't that bad of a price. I am wiping it off to get all my fingerprints off that may have occurred on the titanium while messing with it. It's probably the last time I'll wipe it off. Just have to deal with it for the rest of the video. But anyway, they did put a fair amount of purple lightning anno all over the knife, and in my opinion, it looks amazing. To a lot of people, this is going to be a little much, but yeah, let's get some size comparisons out and get into the main parts of the review. Now, this is a fairly large knife, as you're about to see in a minute. Let's bring the QSP Penguin out, along with the Ontario Rat Model 2 in my customized zombie finish there. These are kind of the average standards, as well as the Civivi Elementum, or in this case the Helementum from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. These knives are kind of the standards, in my opinion, of what a typical EDC sized folder is going to be, and as you can see, this knife is much larger. Let's also bring out another Twosun model that was customized by Colin's Crazy Creation. This is the well, you know, to be honest, I'm not sure what model number this is, because this is one of the only models they've came out with where they didn't put the number on the knife, but it is one of my favorite pieces actually in my collection due to the customization. And I have done a review on this on my channel if you'd like to go look at that. But anyway, this knife is definitely of premium quality. It feels very premium. It's very, very fidgety, very smooth. Obviously, it runs on bearings, and they have heavily milled it out. So, not to mention, it's the level of wild that I love. I'm a wild collector. I like things that are different, and this is very different to me. So let's go over my 5 points, and I rate each point on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, and then I give the knife a kind of overall grade. The first is fit and finish, and from what I can tell, this knife is fit and finished very, very well. It is cut exactly where it needs to be everywhere. There is no hot spots, all smooth titanium finish. It looks so flush. The pocket clip is great, not sharp. There is 0 sharp points anywhere, and honestly, it's a great overall design. I believe it does have a designer. Let's say David Chen. I don't know much about him, but yeah, fit and finish, I would say definitely gets a 10 out of 10 on this piece for sure. Price for the materials and the work, 10 out of 10 again. Yes, full titanium at M390 at $160, especially with a custom lightning anode finish and a kind of toxic carbon fiber inlay. Yeah, there's no doubt that this is worth $160. They probably could have asked for more, right? So yeah, 10 out of 10 for the price. Smooth action and fidgetivity, oh yeah. This thing is very fidgety, has very nice action. You just gotta give it a little bit of help, and yeah, it doesn't have the like insanely fall shut of some knives, but it has that like premium fall shut. I don't know how to necessarily describe that in words, but it has the fall shut that requires just the minimalist, see how I barely helped it there, just the minimalist amount of help, and you can feel it shutting on those bearings. It's so nice and so smooth. 10 out of 10 for fidgetivity for sure. Is it easy to carry? Well, it is a larger knife, but I will say for its size, they did a great job milling it out. Honestly, they milled it out probably to the maximum level that they could. So they did a Civivi level milling on this piece, is what I like to call it. And yeah, I don't think they could have milled it out any better. It's always hard to show milling on the camera, but hopefully you can see that down in there. This whole, I don't even know how they were able to mill the show side so well, considering it has an inlay. It must be a very thin piece of carbon fiber, because I mean, these are some thick handles, but it is very lightweight for how thick this knife is. Like, this version of the Penguin is a pretty thick knife, and you can see that the Twosun is thicker. But to be honest, for the size difference, the Twosun doesn't weigh all that much more, and I would say it's almost twice as big as the QSP. So yeah, I'm gonna say I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, it is going to be a little bit more difficult to carry for its size, and it's not deep carry, as you can see there. You know, you're going to be right there is going to be your pocket. That much is going to be sticking out. That is quite a bit, but you know, that never really bothers me. So I guess I can dock it another half point for not being deep carry. I like my knives being deep carry. They don't have to be fully deep carry, but I will say I do like them being more deep carry than that. So I will dock it another half point for that. So we will give it a 9 out of 10. I appreciate all the milling that was done to it, which is why I'm not going to dock it any further. They literally milled this thing out to maximum on the handles. So yeah, we'll give it a 9 out of 10 for that. And the easy to maintain, clean, and sharpen. Well, let's see. I got my little tool out here. Are these T8s? They are T8s. Excellent. T8 still here. Yep. We only got one pivot screw. That's great. Wow, even a T8 on the pocket clip. That's good. How about, oh my gosh, this knife has T8s. Is that a T8? Looks smaller. No, that is a T8. Wow. The only thing that's T6 is the frame lock screw there, and that doesn't really have much to do with maintaining the knife. It's pretty hard to make that screw a little bit larger, but this knife has T8s all around. That is A+ from Twosun. Wow, awesome job, guys. So yeah, the chance of this knife stripping is pretty much 0, which is great, great, great. That makes me so happy. I hate to say it, but it's pretty dang rare that we see a knife with T8 screws on everything needed to actually fully maintain the knife. And this knife has it. So 10 out of 10 for that as well. What do you guys think? Do you guys like this aesthetic? I've very much been growing on knives that are not the same on both sides. As you can see, not just by this one, but by this one as well, has a very different aesthetic on both sides. While it is the same color pattern, the sides are very different. Not that I don't enjoy knives that have the same thing going on both sides, but you kind of get a whole different knife when you flip this knife around. It's like, ooh, okay, toxic with a little bit of gold and purple, and then you're like, bam, this knife's gold with lightning purple, you know, like, it's very cool to me. I don't know. But what do you all think of this knife, huh? I would say this knife, to me, is pretty much dang near perfect. I know it's not the easiest to carry, but as far as a collector goes, there's not much more I can ask than this. I'm not finding really much negatives. I don't necessarily collect it very often, but one of the reasons for that is because I want to keep this knife in tip-top shape. I absolutely love this knife, and I want it to last as long as it's going to last. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.